married.
You what?
I'm getting married.
Oh my God, you're getting married.
Hello, and welcome to Seincast, a retrospective on all 180 episodes of Seinfeld, being hosted by two guys who can barely run their own lives. My name is Vinnie.
My name's Matt, and welcome everyone to season...
What's that?
7. Season 7. Do you think that works? Do you think, like, on an audio level?
Everybody listening knows that whistle and what it stands for, so proceed.
I can't believe that we have moved on to yet another season. It's just flying by like crazy.
Same here. I clicked on that season 7 folder and I was, we're here already.
The tone shifts, even in that opening, that cold open with George and his girlfriend. It feels different.
Yeah, no stand up, no just a guy and a girl playing chess.
Well, before we get into this week's episode, figured we could just talk about season 7 as a whole. It's a landmark season in a lot of ways. We get some big characters. Like I was thinking Jackie Chiles.
Yeah,
he's a big one. A soup Nazi. That's like a pop culture icon.
I'm familiar with his work. Yes,
not to mention like Jean Paul, Stan the Caddy, Sue Ellen Mischke.
Yeah, those are some fan favorites right there.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, a character we just met last season, Peterman, in the finale, he really comes into his own.
Oh, yeah, we get a lot of Peterman material. As, you know, the new Elaine job will start this season. So we get to see her working for Peterman, which is going to be cool.
Mm-hmm. But, you know, Vinny, what would you say, just your opinion here, that season 7 is best known for?
I think hands down, people think of this is the engagement season. So this is the arc with George and Susan becoming engaged. Right?
There's only 2 arcs, I would argue, in all of Seinfeld. Mm-hmm. There's the pilot arc, and then there's the engagement arc.
Correct.
Right? And, it's funny, if you combine seasons 1 and 2 into their own season, since they're so short, it's interesting how the pilot and those arcs are basically like 2 seasons removed from the beginning and end. Does that make sense? I don't know. It just seems like it's really evenly distributed because I always thought like every season has some sort of arc, right? But they really don't.
Well, in a sense, yes. But then also you could argue that, well, this is the season where George works for the Yankees, or this is the season where Elaine works for Mr. Pitt. So there's like little threads that connect the episodes, but I guess it's just what the characters happen to be doing or working with their. This is the season where George moved in with his parents, but. Specifically season 4 with the pilot arc and then season 7 with the engagement, those are very much the like through line through the season. So yes,
and I think this arc gets the most attention. That might be because just Susan's presence is like a reminder of that arc. Remember back in season 4, you had to hear a character say, "Oh yeah, we have to write the pilot," or "Oh, we're not working on the pilot this week. We're taking it's a throwaway line." Whereas here, just Susan's very presence is like, "Oh my God, this guy's getting married."
Oh, and a lot of storylines will come from this arc with George meeting the parents, the Costanzas meeting the Rosses. So almost every episode is going to factor in, including the finale of season 7 with this engagement.
Yes, the infamous finale. In addition to the engagement arc, I'd say the season is maybe not known like on a mainstream level, but it is Larry David's last season. And I think amongst Seinfeld fans, you're very aware of that because the show will really change in seasons 8 and 9. I think like tonally, the characters change. I think the look of the show even changes, the rhythm.
Yeah.
And I thought, this episode, we should talk about, the reasons why Larry left and what it was like when he left. But at the start of the season, when it started filming in August of 1995, Larry didn't really know he was leaving. There's sort of this funny joke between him and Jerry, like every season he wanted to leave. Like, this is it.
Yeah, that was customary for him to say, "I'm done, I don't want to do it anymore." And meanwhile, Jerry would always have in the back of his mind, he would talk Larry into staying. He'd say, "Okay, let's get through the season and then we'll just see what happens at the end." So as we'll learn, once again, Jerry had the same feeling. We're gonna get through the season, and I'll talk Larry into staying for an additional season.
Right. And that kind of, conversation didn't come up until, I think Jerry says episode 13 or 14. So more than halfway through this season, which I think is probably a better time to talk about the reasons why Larry left and what it was like, how it affected the cast and crew. For right now, Larry's in this till the end. I don't think his, decision to leave affected how he ran this season or necessarily why he chose the engagement arc. I guess there's sort of the theory that if the show were to have a final season, it would end with George getting engaged.
Yeah, I think the thinking was if we are going to end the series, how do we kind of give some sort of conclusion or finality to this show? It's having one of the members get engaged to break up what brings this foursome together. Out of all the seasons, this was Larry David's attempt to bring the show to a close by creating this engagement storyline.
Right, but by no means, it's not like he was, I don't know, like killing off all the characters or blowing up the city. Like everything can continue on.
Of course. It's
just, as we'll get into actually here with trivia, how do you resolve this engagement arc? If George isn't going to get married and move off, and the group disbands, how the hell is this going to go? For now, though, I just wanted to give a shout out to friends of the show who play trivia, Seinfeld trivia in New York when I host almost every month. They're there. Shane and Joanna for actually getting engaged a few months ago. I wanted to save the news just for this podcast.
Oh, congratulations, guys. We saw them at the Brooklyn Cyclones game, yes?
Yes, they sat with us, and if anyone has seen the Hulu Seinfeld mini doc that Vinnie and I are in, Shane and Joanna are also in that little doc. They are the ones, or at least Joanna's the one covered in Seinfeld tattoos. So I want to give them a shout out since it's an appropriate sort of episode. And one other thing I wanted to mention here was an email we got way back in July, and I've been saving it for a good time. Got an email from a lovely couple, James and Michelle. They wrote, "We are huge Seinfeld fans, and we have been since before we met. When we got married back in 2008, our wedding had a little bit of a Seinfeld theme, with each table being named after one of our favorite episodes. Each name placard had a quote from that episode on the back. We remember pulling all of this together the week before the wedding and having to switch the table names because I didn't think we could put my grandmother at the table The Burning. So they sent in photos, and it's great. Each name placard, has, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, table 6, a.k.a. the calzone, or, table 1, the dinner party. And on the table is like a framed picture of Jerry and Elaine in the bakery with a little episode description.
Yeah.
It's really cool. James also wanted to add, Vinny, that he heard you mention that you gave kind of like a Seinfeld-influenced speech at my wedding.
It wasn't so much influence, just it was more lifted. It was Jerry's act lifted, but I get credit.
So what were the bits you pulled? Was it like the... shoot.
I tried to do any type of wedding themed bit from his material, any type of wedding material. So I did the best man, if I'm the best man, why is she marrying him? What was the other one I did? There was two.
Well, I don't know if this was one you did, but James mentioned for his best friend's wedding, he went with the public speaking stand-up where Jerry says he would much rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy because, public speaking is so crazy.
Totally applicable. I love this idea. It's so well done, and for a Seinfeld fan, I'm so thrilled that he and his wife are both fans. So, their dream wedding day, they both were able to include this and enjoy it.
Could you ever have a Seinfeld-themed wedding? Any kind of, I don't know, Fusilli Jerry on the cake, or...
Don't get me started. That would be a little tiny dream for me to have some sort of Seinfeld thing at my wedding. But I got to tell you, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't either.
Ouch.
No, just from my experience, because, dude, when I got married... The only thing I wanted, to put my little signature on the wedding was I wanted to put Han and Leia on top of our wedding cake.
Okay. Not too much to ask.
Liz would not have that.
Aww.
So I don't know what's a subtle Seinfeld thing you could do at your wedding because, I think what James and Michelle did here, I mean, that's That's pretty hardcore to have like a different episode connected to each guest.
Oh, yeah. See, the key is finding an episode that captures the guest.
The essence. Vinny, if listeners want to send us their thoughts on this week's episode, have a Seinfeld page, website they want plugged, or just want to say hello, how can they do that?
Hello. They can email us at seincast@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and now they can leave us a voicemail at Coco Bosco. That's 262-622-6726.
Yeah, we love getting voicemails from people, especially about an episode that we can maybe play before or during our discussion. Here's a random voicemail, though, from Lauren in L.A.
Hey, Matt and Vinny. It's Lauren from Los Angeles. You ever taken a bath in the dark? If I'm not talking into a bar of soap right now, call me back.
Wow, I was like, what's going on with this girl? And then I picked up that she's doing a bit. That was great.
So if anyone's listened to our season 6 recap, we got a lot of joke voicemails, which were great. Jerry, Frank Costanza here, George is dead, call me back. So if you have a Seinfeld related voicemail you wanna leave us, or if you have a question or a theory or a correction or just a little FYI, please call in.
I didn't realize how many bits there are in the show that relate to a voicemail
or answering machine message.
Yeah, any type of like audio heavy, scenario from the show. There's so many that and people are finding them that they can call in. So I kind of hope this tracks and becomes a thing.
But we would really love voicemails that are either, I don't know, about a Seinfeld experience you had that like relates to the episode we're about to discuss, or a question. Did you ever notice this? Did you ever notice that? Mm-hmm. Those are very easy to play and address on the show as opposed to emails and whatnot. But Vinny, I think we've made it pretty obvious. What episode are we discussing today?
The first episode of Season 7, The Engagement, written by Larry David, directed by Andy Ackerman, and it originally aired September 21st, 1995.
Right on. I didn't do my research, but I saw that Larry David wrote this episode, next week's, and the third episode. So the first 3 episodes of Season 7 are all his.
Okay.
And I don't think he did that every season. I think he tried to kick off each season.
Right.
But this feels like he's really trying to set the course for this season. It seems very intentional.
Absolutely. Even with the episode titles, The Engagement followed by next week's episode, The Postponement, it's almost like this would be a little 2 or 3-parter, like a little mini movie to get us on track for this engagement story arc.
Yes, it's very George and Susan heavy, and really heavy about the pact and I think Elaine's feelings about George getting engaged.
Yep, those are big themes throughout this year.
For sure. Well, we sort of talked about this being Larry David's final season at the top of the episode. I think we'll save that for a future episode to get more in depth. But before we get started with this episode, proper, I think we should talk about Heidi Swedberg, one of those top-tier secondary characters that has no
quirk.
There's nothing really eccentric about her. She's not goofy, over the top. She's probably the most like normal, straight character on this show.
She's as vanilla as you get on for a Seinfeld secondary character.
It kind of sounds like a criticism, but I love the Susan character. I love Heidi Swedberg.
As do I.
I'm so happy we're getting to this season, and we're going to have her, I think, for a good 17 episodes this season.
Would you say she's the most recognizable girlfriend in the series because of her engagement to George as well as her number of appearances?
Yeah, I think among Seinfeld fans, yes, but I don't know if she's the most, recognizable actress out of all the girls.
Oh yeah, I wasn't getting that. I was just saying in terms of her character.
For sure. I mean, she definitely has the longest track record. I mean, hell, she has a longer track record than I think more popular secondary characters like Putty or Banya.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you have much about Heidi Swedberg's like acting history.
Well, we already did her in earlier seasons, so I didn't prepare for that.
Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, listen, everyone knows who Heidi Swedberg is, who Susan is. I completely forgot. I was actually watching, I love my spoof movies. She's in Hot Shots. Completely forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
Which predates Seinfeld. Also,
I always remember her from Kindergarten Cop. She was one of the mothers. She's like, oh, I don't have my makeup on.
Yeah. But if you were a fan of movies from the 80s, 90s, you're very familiar with Heidi Swedberg, and you might be wondering, where is she these days? She is a musician full-time, playing the ukulele and offering lessons. I was on her website. She actually offers them, I think, in person, but also via Skype. So,
wow, very cool.
Yeah, and I was thinking, dude, you play the ukulele, I play the ukulele. One of us plays much better than the other. But wouldn't it be something to get a video lesson from Heidi Swedberg?
That would be cool. That'd be an episode in itself.
Right. I have a feeling, just a hunch, that she would not want to talk about Seinfeld whatsoever.
Probably not.
Just getting into her music career here. She's in 2 music groups. She's in the Suki Jump Band and the Smoking Jackets. You can find more about her ukulele and music career at sukijumpmusic.com. We'll include a link in our show notes. It's kind of a cool site. And just, I have no other word for it than just totally bizarre to see, this person who we connect with, it's Susan.
Yeah.
In this colorful, high energy ukulele band. It's just really interesting.
Yeah, she was a very prominent actress, like you said, in the 80s and 90s. A lot of roles, but I think music might be her first love, so she transitioned to that. So good for you.
Now,
I'm happy for her.
There's no mention of Seinfeld on her website. There's no mention of her acting career. So I have no evidence to back this up. I have a good feeling there's a clean break between Heidi Swedberg of the 80s and 90s and Heidi Swedberg of today.
I would agree with that. She was gracious enough to come back and do interviews and commentaries, for the DVDs. So if you visit those, you'll see her in, modern day, speaking of playing the role of Susan. But yeah, just think she moved on.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So. In a big way. You know what I mean? It's not like, some people, had a certain experience on Seinfeld and they will continue to make appearances. Larry Thomas as the Soup Nazi, John O'Hurley as Jay Peterman.
Thank you for that, by the way.
Steve Heitner as
you got to meet all these guys.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, Heidi Swedberg just seems like, and we can get into it here, maybe she didn't really want to have anything to do with her experience on Seinfeld. And what I'm getting at is what happened last summer, June 3rd of the date right here, June 3rd, 2015. Jason Alexander was on Howard Stern. And we have a clip here. It's about 3 minutes long, so hang in there. I think it's a really interesting little snippet.
Was he promoting Fish in the Dark? Is that why he was on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But this, to give it context, this little interview exploded overnight. And you type in Jason Alexander, Heidi Swedberg, you will get, I don't know, hundreds of articles about what was said on the Howard Stern show. And I think a lot of it was taken out of context. It's just websites and media just taking little bits of, a little quote here, a little quote there, and saying Jason Alexander hated working with Heidi Swedberg, and that's why they killed her off, however the article wants to spin it.
Got to get those clicks.
Yeah, so let's play the clip from Howard Stern. Again, this is from June of 2015. I don't think anyone had talked about Seinfeld and Heidi Swedberg since, since Seinfeld ended. So it's kind of interesting to hear it brought up almost 20 years later.
There's a great part of Seinfeld where they wrote in a love interest for you, Susan.
Uh-huh.
She was the one that they killed off by licking a stamp. Licking the
wedding
stamp.
envelopes,
the wedding envelopes. The story goes that she was killed off because you couldn't stand working with her. Now,
this poor girl.
Is that true? Well, was there a different? Was there?
Okay, so I always have to. The preamble to this is
yes.
The actress is this wonderful girl, Miss Swedberg, and she is. I love her.
Yes,
she's a terrific girl. I love her.
Yeah. What was the problem?
I couldn't figure out how to play off of her.
You're being kind.
Her instincts for doing a scene where the comedy was and mine were always misfiring. And she would do something, and I would go, okay, I see what she's going to do. I'm going to adjust to her. And then I'd adjust, and then it would change.
Right.
And
now, Julia Louis-Dreyfus claimed she had the same problem with her, too.
Well, no, hang on.
Okay.
So I had done 3 episodes with her, and Larry calls me up at the beginning of the season and says, good news, I got a great arc for you this season. You're going to get engaged. I said, oh, it's great. Who do I get engaged to? He said, Susan.
Right.
And I went, oh, great. Who's playing George? Because it was like such a disaster. But what he said was, what Heidi brought to the character is we could do the most horrible things to her.
Right.
The audience was still on my side. And it wasn't that she wasn't playing a bitchy character or anything, but it just, they knew it wasn't a good fit.
Right.
And
nobody wanted her.
After every episode, we'd all go out, not the guest cast, but we would, the 4 of us and Larry and everybody would go out and we'd have a bite to eat, and we would just, bitch about everyone and everything. Right. And I kept saying, I'm going out of my mind, you guys. You're killing me. I can't understand how to play off of this girl. I'm sure that this stuff is not working. It can't be.
Right.
And they're going, it works great. You don't know what you're talking about. But I was the only actor doing scenes with her.
Right.
And then finally, and they didn't know how they didn't know how the season was going to end. Was George going to marry her? Was she going to leave him? What was going to happen?
Right.
Finally, they do an episode where Elaine and Jerry have a lot of material with her.
Right.
And they do the week, and then we get to the restaurant afterwards, and they go, you know what? It's impossible.
Wow.
It's impossible. And Julia actually said, I know, it's just, don't you want to just kill her? And Larry went, kabang!
That's the answer.
Now we got to kill her. We got to kill her.
And it was such a bizarre way to kill her off.
But she is, every time I tell this story, I cringe, because Heidi is the sweetest.
It just didn't work in that scenario.
Just the way I come at stuff and the way she came at stuff, just... And I also think if I
I got good news. Larry David called me, told me that she's going to be your co-star in Fish in the Dark.
I can't wait.
They say that
she's going to be your wife.
They're determined to get this right.
So there you go. Straight from the horse's mouth. Well, that's Jerry, sorry. Straight from Jason Alexander's mouth.
No, it's straight from Humpty Dumpty's mouth.
Humpty Dumpty, yeah, not the horse-faced Goofus. Goofith? Interesting interview, right? I mean, straight from Jason Alexander, and I think it's really important to hear that entire, 3-minute clip as opposed to, clicking on any of those random articles you'll find online that just blew up, a couple years ago.
A blurb would definitely put it out of context.
Mm-hmm. But what do you think, though? Do you have any overall thoughts on what Jason said? Does that, change how you feel about either Jason, Heidi, the show, what have you?
Doesn't change my feelings about Jason, Heidi, George, or Susan.
The kitchen, the ballroom.
It does seem there's a little bit of a sense that Jason had trouble working with her or working off her because he felt like something was off. And he clearly says this is what Larry and Jerry were going for. That's why they kept with it. It lasted a whole season. I think just maybe he didn't feel comfortable working off of her, as he says. And I have no acting skills or experience or know what the hell he's talking about. But I feel like that was the point of what Larry and Jerry wanted was George didn't like this woman. He already broke up with her previously. And he picked his nose to try and get out of that relationship, which drove her to being a lesbian. So he didn't really love her. So that, just like living with his parents frustrated him for an entire season, now being engaged to a woman who he doesn't love is what frustrated the character, George. So I think it was perfectly cast and perfectly played and written. But maybe Jason, the actor, just had difficulty with that.
Well, let's go to a quote here from Larry, which kind of explains why he chose someone that, George broke up with repeatedly. Larry justified using Susan because George got engaged to Susan, who was on the show 2 years earlier. So we didn't have to go through the introductory stuff. It just seemed easier in a way to use somebody who he had already known, as a lot of people will do. They'll go out with somebody, they'll move on to somebody else, and then start missing them. Which, I don't know, there's just so many people on the DVDs and on interviews talking about George and Susan, Jason and Heidi. There's never really a clear answer what the real motivation was for bringing Susan back. Was it just that, or is it because Jerry and Larry wanted to take advantage of Jason's friction acting-wise with Heidi? It is sort of funny that the reason they killed off Susan was just from like an offhand comment at Jerry's Deli right after the show.
Oh yeah, it's so perfectly described by Jason, where they're trying to figure out how do they do this without being cliche. You know, they wanted to do something original. That was Larry's, pride and joy, was going against the grain. And
well, what are the options here? They're either going to get married,
right? Which
is, unless it's your last season, they're not going to get married. They're going to break up, which is too cliche.
George leaves Susan. Susan leaves George.
Yeah, again, cliche. What's your other option?
What if we just killed her?
Mm-hmm. But I don't know why that just rubs me the wrong way. Maybe it just doesn't sit well with me to say these actors didn't like this other person, so they killed her off. You know what I mean? Okay. Like, it doesn't feel... Maybe it's like a weird truth I just don't want to accept for whatever reason. Like it was that black and white.
Right. We do hold this show in such high regard. So anything that tarnishes it tends to... It hurts when you hear that.
Right. So, just to move on, I think, to the more interesting part of the story, the other half was over 24 hours, the story blew up. It was all over the internet. Jason Alexander hated working with Heidi Swedberg. That's why they killed her off. Jason wrote this kind of a lengthy little blog of sorts. I don't know if this was on Facebook or on some form of Twitter, but he wrote here that the impetus for telling the story was that Howard said, "Julia told me you all wanted to kill her, so I told the story to try and clarify that no one wanted to kill Heidi. I just felt I was on uncertain ground in how to play off the character, and I was always concerned that it wasn't working. And that's what I would voice concern about. People clearly liked this interplay, though, even though I believed I was, quote, off. So when the comment was made about killing, no one was talking about the actress. They were talking about the character. And that's when the creative light bulb went off. It seems like we were putting a heavy burden on Heidi. I personally am not. Heidi would always ask if there was anything in the scenes she could do or if I had any thoughts. And she was very generous, very gracious. And I'm so mad at myself for retelling the story in any way that would diminish her. I thought this is interesting. If I had had more maturity or more security in my own work, I surely would have taken her query and possibly tried to adjust the scenes with her. She surely offered. But I didn't have that maturity or security, and Larry and Jerry would probably have killed me as it was all playing exactly as they wanted. Clearly, Susan and George were coming off just the way they wanted." So I think that's interesting. Jason offered his help to fix what he was complaining about.
Yeah, he could have reached out and given his feedback to her.
And in closing here, so to all the press that is now running wild with this 15-year-old story, please don't pervert it. No one told Heidi to do anything different, and she surely would have if asked, and no one that I am aware of, including myself, didn't like her. And now with distance, I can look at these episodes and see that there was a fun relationship there between George and Susan. It works perfectly. I simply couldn't see it or find it at the time. And to Heidi, I personally apologize. You are a sweetheart. I actually launched into this on Stern to defend you. But this is why I am not a lawyer. Now everybody calm down and just enjoy the reruns and think, why did he think this wasn't working? This is great. So there you go.
Well put.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, when I first heard this story, the little snippets or the whole interview there, I never picked up on anything on the screen between Jason and Heidi. Did you?
Nor did I. No, absolutely not. In fact, I thought it was great because George was so uncomfortable and irritated with all the things that Susan would ask of him or say, or anything she said, you'd see him, all right, or roll his eyes. We even get to see it in this first episode, kind of those dynamics of being in this relationship. And it's grating the way she acts to him, which I think is perfect. I think that's exactly what Larry and David
Larry did.
Larry and Jerry wanted, as Jason says.
It would be interesting, though, this season, you brought this up in season 6, to see if there was any kind of on-screen tension, or at least how Jason was struggling behind the scenes, if that comes off in any of their scenes together.
Yeah, let's keep an eye out, listeners as well as ourselves, both in the episodes and maybe like bloopers might be, or alternate takes might be a good spot to look to see in between scenes.
But looking forward to getting to more Susan episodes this season. Should we get started, though, Vinny?
Absolutely.
Well, first scene, we're in George's apartment. We should address it here. We're going to see fewer stand-ups this season. They're not gone completely, but definitely fewer than normal. This is mainly due to time constraints. In fact, there was stand-up filmed for this episode and next week's episode, but it was cut. I'm not sure what went with this episode, but I think it was one of two. Jerry has a stand-up about dogs getting left in cars and like how dogs enjoy sitting next to the driver because they're on the same level.
Okay.
So that made me think of Roxy. And then he has another stand-up, which is probably fitting with this one, about marriage being like a roller coaster.
To me, marriage is like the roller coaster, and the engagement is like that first hill when it's just starting, you know? And you're just going click, 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 click. It's scary, the anticipation, you know, and it always has that little chunk, it falls back a little, you know, you go, what was that? My parents, oh my God, click, 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 click. Get to the top, they give you the ring and the piece of cake, and you go.
I like hearing that because it sounds like, you know, Jerry writing that idea, like that sentence you just said, on a napkin, and that being kind of the start of his joke, of his routine for that.
I'll see if there's like a video on YouTube that we can include in our show notes of the stand-up. But if not, those are the two I found that I think could be related to this episode. And we should also add that stand-up wasn't cut purely for time. Jerry was so busy on the show, and as he takes over for Larry in seasons 8 and 9, he didn't have any time to write his own material, which apparently he hated. He hated not writing his own stuff, or really time to test it out on audiences. So as much as I hate these cold opens where it's not stand-up, I understand from like a production reason why they were not used.
Oh, of course. Agreed.
But first scene of the episode, we're in George's apartment. He's playing chess with his girlfriend, Alice. And I've never seen this side of George before. He makes his move and he sits back and then he just starts trash talking. Like, took your queen out too fast. The queen is old-fashioned. She likes to stay home, likes to cook, take care of her man. I think she's one of these feminists.
I have schmuck and arrogance in my notes for this scene.
I don't know what this is all about. I don't know if he's trying to end this relationship or what.
Well, ego. He's a cheater. He cheated during the contest, as we'll learn.
He seems pretty insecure, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It is funny to see George play chess because I could see like season, I don't know, the first third George playing chess, not season 7 George.
It seems more like he's a checkers man.
Yeah. So, Alice says checkmate, and George's response,
I don't think we should see each other anymore.
Right, perfect.
That has to be one of the quickest girlfriends ever. I think that relationship lasted 42 seconds on screen.
Yeah, that's Alice. Who plays Alice?
Renee Phillips or Renee Faya. She has 2 different last names.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. We get another cold open here of sorts. We're in Elaine's apartment, middle of the night, barking outside. Elaine can't sleep. And it's like fantastic, like Julia fashion. She like spastically, gets out of bed to yell out the window, but she's like caught up in the sheets. Yeah, she's like a cartoon character where the leg starts spinning. Shut up!
Shut up!
That scream, right? Pretty powerful. You know what I mean? Like she's really giving it her all. And, we'll see later, Julia's voice is completely shot. Mm-hmm. Or Elaine's is, rather. And I'm like, how do actors do that? How do actors pretend that they can't speak?
I thought the same thing. Turns out she's acting without acting. She lost her voice from yelling at this dog because they filmed this scene, on the first day. Then they shot the subsequent scenes the following day, and she had laryngitis. So that is real hoarseness.
Hoarseness. Yeah, I got a picture of like Rusty in my head for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
That I love hearing that trivia because it just makes me realize, okay, so there's no way to like pretend you have a sore throat or have laryngitis.
I don't think you can induce a sore throat. Again, we saw last season Jerry had that cold because he was sick.
Well,
right.
Speaking of Jerry, in The Maid, the last like normal episode of Seinfeld ever, Jerry's voice is completely shot.
Yelling at hecklers all night.
Right. And that always seemed kind of like a weird stain on that episode. Because it's like you're not really getting the real Jerry. So is that really the last proper episode?
Oh, get out of here.
So it's happened twice, though, on the show. Actors losing their voices, writing it into the character.
My question to you, Matthew, is this the first sign of Elaine's distaste for dogs that we see?
Oh, boy.
I got two.
Okay,
previous.
well, Farfel.
Farfel's one.
Did not like Farfel.
There's another one I'm thinking of.
Oh, is it? She's a dog. Is it like the Korean nail ladies?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's three, but that's not what I was thinking.
All right, what's the other one?
I'm thinking of Woof Woof. Not Bang Bang.
Of course. That dog didn't have a name.
Right. But the air conditioner dog. So you can see this kind of tracks unofficially that she's had these run-ins with dogs, and she'll have further run-ins later on.
Yes, absolutely. I think this is the official start of Elaine's bad relationship with dogs. But yeah, you're right. There are a few that predate this. Next scene, we're at Monk's. As we know, George broke up with Alice because he felt emasculated. Can't see how he'd be able to perform sexually after losing at chess.
Well, it's completely emasculating.
That was like Jerry.
Yeah, he said that.
Oh, yeah, but Wigmaster. Hello.
Thank you.
Let's start over.
Oh, I'll keep it in.
But, George says it wasn't just the chess, though. She had a favorite expression.
Happy Pappy?
Happy Pappy? What does that mean?
If she wants to know if I'm pleased with something, she'll say, Happy Pappy?
Oh, you're Pappy.
I'm Pappy.
Oh, I get it. Okay. Well, why not just tell her not to say it?
I'm much more comfortable criticizing people behind their backs.
Give it to me. I know what you're about to say. This Happy Pappy thing always annoyed me. I'm like, who would ever say Happy Pappy to someone?
And it's fun to say now, among friends as a joke, among Seinfeld friends. I had no idea. I learned this just today. Heidi Swedberg used to use this phrase with Larry, off screen in conversation. And I'm sure he found issue with it, so he wrote it into an episode.
Poor Heidi, man.
Yeah.
From everything that we talked about earlier to this, it's just like, did everyone hate her?
Nah, but I never knew that. I always thought that was just something they came up with. But we can thank Heidi for that one.
Yeah, Happy Pappy. Oh, boy. Well, Jerry's one to talk, since he broke up with his girlfriend Melanie, since she shushed him while watching TV.
Hey, I got a real thing about shushing.
What's your policy on shushing?
If it's warranted, I understand and accept, but unnecessary shushing.
When is an okay shush?
In the movies, or if you're watching a movie and you're trying to hear. Now,
there's something about that noise, like shh, that really bothers me. It's
maybe because your in-laws do it all the time.
Did I tell you that story?
You've always told me, and it became a joke among you and your wife where you would shush each other.
Okay.
You shh.
Okay, so once, early on in my relationship, I was sitting with Liz and her parents watching TV, and her mom was saying something to us about like the program we were watching or something, and her dad shushed her, and he went shh, and then just like that, the mom turned to her husband and went, "No, you shh,"
like a reflex.
Yeah. Shades of the Costanzas in there, just shades. And
it reminds me of the couple walking out of the restaurant that says, "Why do you have to pick their teeth at the dinner table? Leave me alone."
Not that bad at all. They're a lovely couple, but just this one moment, yeah, Liz and I were shushing each other for years as a joke. Just
shushing all over a mountain.
Shush. You know what I'm doing there?
I got you.
Okay. Yeah, and the best time to do it is when it's a total normal conversation. Mm-hmm. It's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" Yeah. "I'm doing all right. I got..." Shh. I was like, what?
A little aside here. Jerry's got that comedy mullet working this scene, and I believe for this season.
Hang on a second. So Vinny and I usually have notes for each episode, but I created a second document of notes.
Okay.
Because I was watching the episode on my phone.
Another Popka?
And that is my first note. Hair. 1, Jerry mullet. 2, Elaine hair down.
Yes. George hair gone.
Yes. You're right. The Jerry mullet, I think, is in full force in season 7.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's gonna reach an all-time high. I think. I'm thinking. Yeah,
I think 7 might be it. Actually,
yeah, this is
8,
it.
It gets
I
bigger.
think in the middle to the late part of the season, we'll see. I'm thinking when he's going on the Charles Grodin show. Is that this season?
Yes.
Okay, when he's sitting in the chair with his pants off.
Here's the doll.
Exactly. It's like this. It's like all in the back.
It looks like he has like one of those neck pillows or something.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh boy. All right. Well, let's move on to the clip here. It's a great clip between George and Jerry.
One other note about shushing. Do you think this little issue that Jerry has with shushing, do you think they planted this later on in season 7? Susan is gonna not so much as shush Jerry, but
will you two please?
Yes, and the look like it's over for Suzo.
Well, my second note here on my second page of notes is shush head turn eye roll. And if we go back to, I think it's the stock tip, when Jerry's walking around with Vanessa in that grocery store, and he's like, I don't know what you wanted me to do to those guys. You know, like I gave them the half turn.
Yeah.
And I gave him the full turn or eye roll, whatever.
Yeah, eye roll.
So Jerry could have shushed in that situation. God bless you, George.
Thank you. Why would George steal from the Yankees?
Why don't you come back in and try that again? So I think Jerry, there's precedence here. I think Jerry could be in a shushing situation. He doesn't shush. And I think Susan's was like a more extreme version of shushing.
Yeah.
Because there was
Will
like
you
anger.
shut up?
Yeah. See, not a fan of the yelling.
Hey, and Jerry did a stand-up about shushing. They're the Unshushables.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, boy. All right. I don't know how long this podcast is going to be. Let's move on to the first clip of the episode.
What is this? Did you ever get the feeling like you had a haircut, but you didn't have one? I'm all itchy back here. What?
What is this? What are we doing? What in God's name are we doing?
What?
Our lives. What kind of lives are these? We're like children. We're not men.
No, we're not. We're not men.
We come up with all these stupid little reasons to break up with these women.
I know. That's what I do. That's what I do.
Are we going to be sitting here when we're 60 like two idiots?
We should be having dinner with our sons when we're 60.
We're pathetic. You know that?
Yeah, like I don't know that I'm pathetic.
Why can't I be normal?
Yes, me too. I want to be normal. Normal.
It would be nice to care about someone.
Yes, care. You know who I think about a lot? Remember Susan, the one that used to work for NBC?
Yeah. I thought she became a lesbian.
No, it didn't take.
Oh.
I tell you, I ran into her last week. Oh, she looked great. You thought she was good looking, right?
See, there you go again. What is the difference what I think?
I was just curious.
Well, this is it. I'm really going to do something about my life, you know? I think I want to call Melanie again. So what if she shushed me? George, I am really going to make some changes.
Yes. Changes.
I'm serious about it.
You think I'm not?
I'm not kidding.
Me too.
This has like echoes, shades of Jerry and George coming up with the pilot for me.
Same.
Obviously same setting, but it's this kind of like meta moment in the show where I feel like the characters are really examining like what we know about them and the sitcom.
This clip in particular, totally Larry David, starts off with some sort of non sequitur, but then it gets into something really deep and meaningful that the characters arrive at some realization.
Mm-hmm. It's an epiphany, and Jerry has never been this like real before.
Yeah, and you'll see he's kind of just really frustrated with life. What are we doing? How high do his hands go? He's up at the forehead.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Gotta get out.
Makes me wonder if this was sort of a reaction from Larry. Kind of every season wanting it to be his last. This turns out to be his last. So maybe he just, I don't know, was sort of using this as like a therapy exercise, in terms of comedy, to be like, why are we writing the same material? 7 seasons. That's a lot.
Yeah.
To have these characters just have the same kind of meaningless, selfish conversations.
Mm-hmm. This is the first of many George and Jerry specific scenes in this episode that are just so wonderfully done. Mm-hmm. And my favorite parts of the episode are these George and Jerry moments. We'll get a couple of them.
Yeah, this is a good one. We mentioned this on our season 6 recap. One of our listeners wrote in to draw the connection between the shower George took in the Jimmy. It didn't take to Susan's lesbianism.
Yes.
It didn't take.
Great line. That also got me thinking. George says, I was just curious, in response to, what difference does it make what I think if she's good looking? Mm-hmm. We're going to see his mother use that same phrasing later on in the episode, but she also said it, per George, your mother opened your mail? You caught her?
She was curious.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a Costanza thing, to be curious.
Yeah, great scene. Love that. However, I think that the best scene of the episode is the one coming up next. We can talk about it after I play it, but we're in Jerry's apartment, and Jerry is just getting off the phone after his sort of agreement of sorts with George. They do shake hands, right?
I saw a shake.
Okay.
They shook on it.
You stuck your hand out, so I shook it.
But Jerry had this epiphany, as did George, right?
Mm-hmm. Let's change our lives for the better. Kind of, I don't know, stop being so selfish and, I don't know, move on with our lives. Especially, I think the idea of we should be having dinner with our sons, Let's maybe start having families, start maturing. So Jerry gets back to his apartment. He calls Melanie, gets back with her. He even drops a happy pappy in there. Just an expression.
He's growing already.
And this is when Kramer enters.
I had a very interesting lunch with George Costanza today.
Really?
We were talking about our lives, and we both kind of realized we're kids. We're not men.
So then you asked yourselves, isn't there something more to life?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, well, let me clue you in on something. There isn't.
There isn't.
Absolutely not. I mean, what are you thinking about, Jerry? Marriage? Family?
Well,
they're prisons. Man-made prisons. You're doing time. You get up in the morning, she's there. You go to sleep at night, she's there. It's like you gotta ask permission to use the bathroom. Is it all right if I use the bathroom? Really? Yeah, and you can forget about watching TV while you're eating.
I can?
Oh, yeah. You know why? Because it's dinner time. And you know what you do at dinner?
What?
You talk about your day. How was your day today? Did you have a good day today or a bad day today? Well, what kind of day was it? Well, I don't know. How about you? How was your day? Boy, it's sad, Jerry. It's a sad state of affairs.
I'm glad we had this talk.
Oh, you have no idea.
This is my favorite scene of the episode. It's, I think, one of the all-time bests. I love Michael. I think he steals this episode based on this performance alone.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I think this is the best scene, or is the only scene, well, not only, but it's the best scene you can take out of context of the episode and, show it to a friend, use it in a clip show.
Yeah.
It works.
Kramer, what's your thought on relationships? Cue this scene.
Yeah. What do you think, though? Do you think it compares to the first?
Oh, yeah.
Scene?
Well, we first saw George and Jerry arrive at this revelation. Now we see Kramer and Jerry, and you can see how, Jerry goes one way and then Kramer pulls him back.
It's interesting how quickly this happens in just a matter of minutes.
Yeah. And what I love about this scene is Kramer is so ahead of Jerry. So you ask yourself, isn't there more to life?
Yes.
He's so ahead of the curve. He knows exactly where Jerry, thought or where Jerry went with this, and he brought him back.
There isn't. Yeah. It's an incredible monologue of sorts that he has here for someone who just walked in to have a sandwich,
That was already made.
I love that. Yeah, that's right. I love those lines. They're prisons, man-made prisons. And it's it's kind of hard to admit this, but this scene was really rattling around in my head, I think, when I got married. Not because I wanted to get out of it or I didn't want to do it, but it's just when you're a fan of Seinfeld, you try to bring anything, you try to relate to anything on Seinfeld, what you're going through. And
good or bad?
It's sad, though. I think we've gotten back more to eating on the couch.
Oh, we do it, too.
Yeah.
We don't have a dinner table, so we have to go on the couch.
But yeah, it makes me wonder if Kramer had some sort of experience with this. I don't think Kramer has ever been married.
Nope.
He came from a broken home of sorts, we think. So I'm not sure where he's getting all of this from.
Well, he's had many relationships, but I think Kramer just knows he wants to be a single entity.
That's. I wouldn't be surprised too if early in his life Kramer was engaged or maybe married briefly for just like a month.
Maybe when he was in the army.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, great scene. Love it. Let's move on to the beach. George is at the beach, kind of on the boardwalk there, sort of like a Coney Island, sort of setting.
I believe he's at the same setting that he was in the opposite.
You're right. Different in that he's sort of like leaning on the railing. In this, he's on a bench. But you're right. It's the same filming location.
Hey, no shave. It's the beach near the Santa Monica Pier.
That's right. Did you check out the wiki page for the Santa Monica Pier?
No.
A lot of movies and TV shows have been filmed here. It's a throwaway shot, but when Forrest is, on his like countrywide run, he runs down the Santa Monica Pier. When I reached the ocean, I turned around, and then he just turns around there. I know it best from the end of Falling Down. Did you ever see that Michael Douglas movie?
Douglas. I remember it a long time ago.
It is a real location, so if we're ever out in LA, we should definitely hit it up.
Add it to the LA itinerary.
Find some birds, run through them.
Yeah.
But, when George is sitting on this bench, he's looking around at these, different couples. And you got like a couple hugging, another couple walking hand in hand, another with a stroller.
Love is in the air.
Yeah, it really is. And the music is... Jonathan Wolff created like Seinfeld and Twin Peaks. It's this real weird music.
It tugs at the heartstrings. Now, Matt, I'd like you to turn your attention to the email that I have sent you.
All right, I've got it.
Have you opened the email?
I've opened the email, and I'm looking at, I think it's the first couple. You got a man and a woman embracing, and there's like two fishermen to the right. Now,
correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I see an early version of an urban sombrero.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I mean, that head is huge.
One of the fishermen in the background has this hat with, the circumference on that thing, it's huge.
It's enveloping the individual.
Yeah, I think it's a prototype. This is not the official urban sombrero. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Good eye. I didn't even pick up on that. I'm sure that's like a real fishing hat, right? Or just
yeah.
One word, shade.
Exactly. Hey, that kind of tracks. I like that.
Oh boy. I don't know if we've mentioned all these names before, but at least one of them we have. Those are all cameos, like crew members.
Yep.
What is it? I think the guy who's hugging, that's Jim Lansbury, who's the second assistant director. And I think he's hugging Christine Neihart, who is a script supervisor.
Okay.
And then a name that we've definitely mentioned before, Tim Kaiser, he is with the woman and the stroller.
Mother and baby.
Right. Anywho, next scene, we are at Jerry's apartment. And I don't know if you remember this, but I love the first shot. It's a continuation of Kramer's monologue, and Jerry's just sitting there contemplating.
Yeah, and there's like a awkward pause where it gets kind of real for a second. It's no longer a comedy. Like, Jerry's pondering his life.
Yeah. It's silent. You can tell the earlier Kramer scene and this, I think, were all supposed to be one big scene. And they just kind of threw that George at the beach scene in the middle.
Yeah, I like that there's just silence, because Jerry is, did I make a mistake here? Good stuff.
Well, Elaine arrives, and she only got 3 hours of sleep. Her voice is gone from screaming at the dog in her courtyard last night.
I can't sleep. I can't work. I mean, I just moved. I can't move again.
I wanted to see if you could nail that horse throat. I like that mention. What?
She got a real horse throat.
I like how she mentioned that she just moved. That was something that happened way back at the end of season 5.
She moved out of Tina, or she got kicked out?
She got kicked out.
Yeah.
So it's only been a year, and she's had a rough year working for Mr. Pitt, getting fired. She's finally picking her life back up with Peterman. But Kramer, of course, leans in and asks, well, what if there should be an unfortunate accident?
You're going to rub out the dog?
No. Of course, Kramer knows someone who specializes in exactly these kinds of sticky situations. And this is a fun little bit of, Seinfeld connections here, going all the way back to season 1, way back to when we didn't even play clips on our show. And I'm very excited to play this clip because we never got a chance to during the stock tip.
Clipless.
But do you want to give this clip some context here?
Yeah, I believe Elaine is suffering some allergies because she is frequenting with a gentleman who has a couple of cats. And it's just plaguing her. And she, I believe, solicits Jerry.
So what are you going to do?
I don't know. I can't think of any solution. Unless, of course, they should meet with some unfortunate accident. What do you think a hitman would charge to rub out a couple of cats?
Well, it couldn't be too expensive. 13, 14 bucks a cat?
What do you think, Jerry? You want to make 28 bucks?
I'm no cat killer.
Man, for someone who initially had so much love for animals with, dolphins and tuna dying in the nets, she seems to go against dogs and cats.
Yeah, for the most part. And I love the fact that back then and here we're getting that term unfortunate accident.
Oh, I thought you were going with rub out.
Oh. It's always you and rubbing out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I just like that. We're seeing, this new side of Elaine, that really doesn't care as much. She'll do anything.
She's going over to the dark side, and it's starting now.
Literally, like she has the black jacket on later, the backwards hat.
To indicate she's a ruffian.
Getting arrested.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, interesting connection there with season 1. But Elaine decides to meet with this mysterious friend of Kramer's.
I don't really know why I'm here. Kramer talked me into coming up here, but obviously I could never really do anything.
Of course. Obviously.
So anyway, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
What kind of dog did you say it was?
I don't know. I've never really seen it.
I see many dogs on my mail route. I'll bet there's not one type of mutt or mongrel I haven't run across. If you ask me, they have no business living amongst us. Vile, useless...
Newman! Violently, Newman!
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I was just curious if I were interested in availing myself of your services. What exactly would you do?
Well, Elaine, there's any number of things that I could do. But I can promise you this, though. This vicious beast will never bother you again. So what's it gonna be?
No, I'm sorry. I can't hurt a dog. I can't hurt a dog. I can't.
Wait a minute. I got it. We'll kidnap him. We'll kidnap the dog. We'll drop him off upstate, and this way he won't bother you anymore, and he won't get hurt.
Yeah, I suppose.
Huh?
I'd have to think about it. I doubt it, though. I doubt it. I'll let you know.
Of course. Take your time. I'll be here.
Great reveal to introduce Newman into season 7.
Mm-hmm. He is getting darker as well. He's becoming more, I don't know, sinister and literally in the shadows. I'll be here.
Now get out of here.
And it makes sense why Newman would be the one who's willing to rub out a dog. He had also a bad relationship with Buford.
Yep.
And
as well as, any of the dogs talking to you on your mail route? Just one's telling them to lay out the snacks.
Yeah, so Newman being a mailman, of course, not a fan of dogs. And something that we were talking about earlier, that the idea of Elaine getting arrested at the end of the episode. Have all the characters been arrested at this point?
Well, I'm thinking Jerry and George both got arrested, or at least booked. I don't know if they were booked, but they got arrested for public urination.
Well, some kind of citation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Run-ins with the law, right?
Mm-hmm. Now Elaine will have this, and it's going to go on her permanent record.
Mm-hmm.
What about Kramer?
I don't know if Kramer's been arrested yet. Oh, what am I talking about? The Smog Strangler. That's a huge one in L.A.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to see this later. George got arrested for bootlegging.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Kramer for being a pimp.
It's a turn pimp. I can't do it. You can do the Larry David voice. I noticed too that Newman's apartment, actually everyone's apartment, especially George's, it's getting there's more set decoration.
So messy.
Very cluttered. Next to Elaine on the couch, I thought this is the most interesting set design, is an open package of Twinkies.
Oh.
Which seems very appropriate for Newman. Being
a mystery.
Yep. Wrapped in a Twinkie. Oh boy. Well, Elaine wants nothing to do with Newman and Kramer, their scheme. And later that night, however, Elaine's in bed trying to get some work done when the dog starts barking again. And she's done with it. She calls Newman. Let's go through with the plan.
Excellent.
A lot of little scenes here. We're at the Symphony Cafe, and Jerry's out to eat with Melanie as she's eating her peas one at a time. And Jerry asks, well, how come?
What's the hurry?
And it's purely visual, but that reaction from Jerry is one of my all-time favorite Jerry moments.
Would you call that disgust? Contempt?
It looks like he's really angry, like he's just ready to explode.
That's Athena Massey, who plays Melanie.
Oh, nice. Is she in anything else? She kind of looks like a model, maybe, or...
Yeah, no. Nutty Professor. I always thought she was one of the, objectively pretty, like one of the prettiest girlfriends Jerry dated.
That's what I'm saying. She does look like a model of some sort, and this act of eating your peas one at a time, is that crazy, or do people do that?
I've never seen a single pea eater.
Okay. I actually don't like peas.
Peas are delicious.
You see, it's funny, and this is not a quote.
Here we go.
I love carrots. I hate carrot soup. I hate peas, but I love pea soup.
So do I.
Yes, I don't know what this is like. I would imagine you would scoop them. Anyways, I think Jerry's justified. Let's cut over to the beach again, and George is still sitting there having some flashbacks with Susan.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
It's pretty good. You got them like walking down the sidewalk. And I think they did a good job matching up the season 4 costumes.
Yep.
Like he has that yellow polo on.
Mm-hmm. His version of Golden Boy.
Yeah.
They pulled Heidi's hair back to kind of show she had that short hair back in season 4.
Yeah, they're in bed in another flashback, and they're laughing. And it's really cool that they would go that extra mile to not retcon, but when you go back to the episodes that Heidi was in, I don't really know if you have many lovey-dovey moments with George.
There's just in the Bubble Boy when she's all over him, and then he calls her a prude, of course.
Oh, in the car.
She calls him a prude. But those are the only times I can think them, being amorous in a loving way.
It's either the cabin burning, getting thrown up on.
He's always irritated with her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess they had to do this, but it's still kind of cool that they had the extra challenge of making it look like it was from 2 or 3 years ago. And George is having these flashbacks, and he slowly realizes something. You can see it on his face. He sprints off, running through a flock of pigeons.
Seagulls.
Yeah, or seagulls, I'm sorry. George and those pigeons. And he arrives at Susan's apartment.
It's George.
George? George, what is it?
Will you marry me?
The slight voice crack is so well done.
Will you marry me? Yeah, it's great, man. I love that. That's a nice way to get out for that act. You sent me a photo before we were recording asking me, when did this happen on Seinfeld? And it's this scene. It's taken on set of Susan standing there and George down on one knee.
Hands interlocked.
Looks sort of like
he's begging.
More of a begging than a proposal, but it is this proposal setting. And you were wondering, did this ever happen?
Because the scene we actually see, George has a jacket on and he's standing when he asks her to marry him. But this picture, he's jacketless and he's on his knees, one knee, kind of begging, pleading with her. So what's the deal? So
I have a theory that maybe this was just purely a promotional photo. You know, that they took it to advertise the engagement, right?
It has that quality to it, like it's like a production still or something.
Yeah, it's definitely a photo on set. It's not like a screen grab from the episode. But I think continuity-wise, or like George says something later, basically, that makes me think it could be an extension, and this might be deleted footage or from a deleted scene. When he tells Jerry that I'm engaged, Jerry's like, she said yes. And he says, well, it took a couple hours of convincing.
Oh, but I was persistent.
Exactly. So I wonder, based on this photo, if there was material written of George proposing, her saying no, and then him like freaking out, taking off his jacket, maybe at some point begging her, like, please, I'm begging you, Mickey.
My darling.
Yeah. So I don't know. Does that work?
Absolutely. And let me add to that. George had to convince her previously to start seeing him again when he went off on his soft-boiled egg rant, and she's not a piece of or he's not a piece of toast. So this kind of seems to be in line with their relationship, that he has to continuously convince her to go out with him and now marry him.
Well, she has been, and as Jason pointed out in that Howard Stern clip, I mean, horrible things have happened to Susan. Like. I would imagine an intelligent woman like her would need a lot of convincing on George's part.
Well, he has systematically broken her down from the moment we've met her on screen. She was this, high-powered NBC exec, and George has slowly chipped away at her, and even more so that it's going to meet in her ultimate demise, from her character arc throughout the series.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. You wonder where Susan is in her life right now, because she obviously still talks to her parents. She is very well off financially.
True.
But for someone to, again, I don't want to judge, but for someone to see an ex-boyfriend after 2+ years and just agree to marry him on the spot, I don't know, it just seems, even with a few hours of convincing, it seems really impulsive.
She's broken.
Yeah.
And George broke her.
Yes. Anyways, let's cut to, I guess we're still at Susan's apartment, but George, he's embracing her. They're on the couch together, and he's calling his mom to tell her the good news.
Hello?
Ma! Guess what?
Oh, my God.
No, it's nothing bad. I'm getting married.
You what?
I'm getting married.
Oh, my God, you're getting married?
Yes.
Oh, I can't believe it. Frank, come here.
You come here.
Georgie's getting married.
What?
Georgie's getting married.
Get the hell out of here. He's getting married?
Yeah.
To a woman?
Of course, a woman.
What does she look like?
I'm sure she's plenty gorgeous. What difference does it make what she looks like?
Is she pretty?
Yes, she's pretty. What difference does it make?
Well, I'm just curious.
She's not pretty?
Let me talk to her.
She wants to talk to you.
Hello?
Congratulations.
I just want you to know that I love your son very much.
You do?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
May I ask why? Will you stop? I'm on the telephone.
Can I talk to her, please?
I love how that clip starts off with so much joy in the Costanza household.
Oh my God.
But again, in true Costanza fashion, it's going to end poorly. But my favorite, I had a lot of lines. I got a lot of lines with you people. A lot of lines that I love from this clip. George is screaming at the top of his lungs, "I'm getting married."
Yeah.
But my favorite has to be, Frank, come here. You come here. Oh, it gets me every time. And then the
to a woman?
Yeah, yes, to a woman. Did we also get the? Is that in a different scene? And then I think we've done this before on the podcast, but congratulations.
That is a big one in our real life too. You know,
anytime congratulations are in order, that's the one you're going to get.
Absolutely. I do feel really bad for Susan. Well, for a lot of reasons, but when George is kind of fed up with his mom and he says she wants to talk to you, and that moment from when George says she wants to talk to you to when Susan says hello, I just feel so bad because it's like this welcome to my family moment. Like, you're in it.
who she's never met. She's never met the Costanzas before, and she's being introduced to this phone, just this voice on the other end.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been there, right? Where you're meeting your significant other's parents, and if your significant other has a lot of baggage, you know who's probably responsible for that baggage.
She's telling Mrs. Costanza, "I love your son very much." You do? Yes. Really? Yes. She has to explain herself to George's mother, convince her why she loves him.
And, you know, that kind of plays into a future scene connecting George and his mom. You brought up the whole, "I'm just curious," you know, that connection. But George says to his mom, you know, "She's pretty. What difference does that make? Like, who cares what she looks like?" Later, he'll say that to Jerry. Like, "You think she's good looking, right?"
Well, that happened in the opening scene. You know how I think about Susan. You thought she was good looking.
Of course.
What difference does it make what I think?
So this is a pretty obvious, like, recurring line.
Yeah.
But that last moment, I think, is my favorite, mainly because it involves Jerry Stiller. Mm-hmm. But it's when Frank is really fed up, and he's like, "Okay, can I talk to her, please?" And they're fighting over the phone.
These two tiny humans, Frank one-handed, Estelle with two hands, clutching this phone.
Do you notice how Frank, though, he's standing there, he's so stiff. He's like a tree.
Yeah.
And Estelle is really struggling with it. Mm-hmm. It's just great visual.
Yep.
All right, next scene, we're at Jerry's apartment, and Jerry runs into Kramer in the hallway, wondering, "Hey, what are you doing? You got all that rope there?"
How do you like that? I got rope.
I don't know what to call it, a restraining pole? What do you call those?
Yeah,
things?
One of those. It's like a retractable pole with a little loop on the end to, I think, ring animals,
dinosaurs or whatever.
Like for animal control.
Right. I looked up a brand.
Dinosaurs.
I looked up a brand online. There's a brand called Catch-All, and that reminds me. Do it.
What is the name that's a catch-all? There's Fish Eye Sees All, but then there's something else that is a catch-all. And he's eating a sandwich when he says it.
Is it Son of Dad?
Oh, I think that's it.
Sort of a catch-all. Anyways, he heads out as Jerry realizes, "You're getting the dog." And George arrives. He's at 11. You know, he is beaming.
And again,
seen him this happy?
No. And again, I cherish these moments when George has positive things going on in his life. When he got the job at the Yankees. Mm-hmm. When he was getting the girls, everything's going his way. And now...
Did you say when he's getting the girls?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just funny. You're like, he's getting the girls.
He's making the scene. No, but even though it was impulsive, he asked this girl to marry him, and she said yes. And he's really happy about it.
And you can tell because he lets out a big chorus. Ha-ho!
Ha-ho!
And he tells Jerry, "I proposed to Susan. They're getting married this Christmas. And it's all thanks to the talk he and Jerry had at lunch the other day." Jerry is over the moon too. He's blown.
He is blown. He's really excited for his friend, which is nice. There's some sincerity going on there, which I like.
And I like how it it kind of turns into this. Not I'm getting married. I'm so excited. It's all about like, Jerry, I'm a man. This is proving my manhood.
Mm-hmm.
And this is of course when he says, "Well, it did take a few hours of convincing her."
You think she's good looking, right?
You're going to have gorgeous kids.
She's got great skin. She's got a rosy glow.
Pinkish hue.
Oh, she's got the hue. And you see Jerry kind of point at George and say that's important. The laughs kind of cover it up, but I really love this moment.
And this, I think, is the first. Well, there's a lot when we're really overanalyzing, but this, I think, is the most blatant, one of the most blatant connections to a previous episode.
You're talking about the fix-up, in which
yes.
We talk about Cynthia's pinkish hue.
A rosy glow, yes.
That seems to be something that's very important to George, along with thick, lustrous hair.
But I have a few other references later on to previous episodes that I think are, to a medium Seinfeld fan, I think are pretty obvious. I don't think you have to be overanalyzing, which is what we do here.
What's going on with you and Melanie? I mean, I know you're not getting married, but things are happening?
Well, actually, we kind of broke up.
You what?
Well, we were having dinner the other night, and she's got the strangest habit. She eats her peas one at a time. You've never seen anything like it. It takes her like an hour to finish them. I mean, we've had dinner other times. I've seen her eat corn niblets, but she scooped them.
She scooped the niblets?
Yes! That's what was so vexing.
What about the pact?
What?
What happened to the pact? We were both going to change. We shook hands on a pact. Did you not shake my hand on a pact?
You stuck your hand out, so I shook it. I don't know about a pact. Anyway, you should be happy you're engaged. You're getting married.
No, it's not that. I just, I thought that we were both,
You thought I was going to get married?
Well, maybe not married, but...
I mean, you love Susan, right?
Yeah.
You want to spend the rest of your life with her?
Yeah.
So?
Yeah. This doesn't make any difference.
Nah.
Does George have a case here, do you think? Like, was there a pact?
No, there was no pact. Absolutely not. In his mind, he perceived a pact, but all they did was shake hands, saying that they were gonna go forth and change and kind of grow up and mature.
Right.
But by no means, George had it in his head. I think after he got engaged, he thought Jerry was gonna do something grand like that.
You thought I was gonna get married? It seems like a big leap. Maybe there was a pact, but George is to blame for going so far with it.
He's in his head.
Yeah. I mean, who gets engaged like that? It's just, I mean, again, sorry if that's worked for some people. Just, could you ever imagine doing this?
Not under these circumstances.
Yeah. It's pretty, I don't know, it's scary. And I think this all sort of settles in for George when he realizes, oh, Jerry's not getting married. I thought this was going to be a team effort here.
Remember you talked about earlier a cut stand-up about marriage, the engagement being a roller coaster, and this is the first hurdle. There's a roller coaster in the scene of George's emotion. You said he was at 11. He's at an all-time high. And slowly, the way Jerry interacts with him, he comes all the way down to like a 1. And I think he kind of comes to this realization of, oh God, what have I done?
Okay, so I have a question then about how the rest of the scene plays out here, because this has always bugged me, and I think it's purely up to the viewer. They're planning to see this movie Firestorm later, and as George heads out, Jerry gets very enthusiastic again, kind of died down there as you heard in the clip, and he's like, hey, wait a minute, champagne, let's celebrate. How often do you get engaged? You have to do the hands,
Yes, what a gesture that is.
So George kind of perks up a little bit. He smirks. You can see he's coming out of his shell again.
There's a silver lining there. Like, oh, okay, it's still a joyous moment. Let's celebrate.
Right. So Jerry starts, open up drawers, banging, looking all over the place, looks under the sink, looks in the fridge. You know something? No champagne. What is going on here? Was Jerry being sincere, or was he just messing with George?
Oh, I thought true sincerity. I think he's being sincere from the get-go. But in true Seinfeldian fashion, things don't go his way, and then it becomes that's a shame.
Okay.
He's kind of just over it at that point.
Maybe it's a little bit of both then.
I don't think he's sticking it to George. I think they wanted to have champagne. He just didn't have any in the house.
But the way it ends is no champagne. All right, I'll see you. Not like, let's go out for a drink or let me take you out. It's. I like to think that Jerry is just messing with George.
Yeah.
Because George was out the door. And wouldn't you know if you have champagne or not?
True. Because champagne goes flat, right? Champagne's gone.
Anna.
Let the chambermaid clean it up.
Well, I mean, only if you open it. But Jerry, not being a drinker, he's got some Hennigans, using it as paint thinner.
He doesn't keep coffee in the house.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's up to the viewer, and you can choose whatever you want. I like to think that Jerry is just a complete asshole.
Well, we are in season 7, so that tracks.
Yeah. So we cut over to an alley, and this van pulls up. Elaine has her leather jacket on, the black hat on backwards, and she's getting cold feet. She isn't sure if they should go through with this dog napping. Kramer's the driver, and he argues, hey, this dog will be much happier getting adopted and taken to the country, running around in dandelion fields, dancing and prancing. And you hear the dog barking in the background, and that's when Newman, gets out to make the grab. This is all treated very serious. Like they're pulling off like a bank heist.
Yeah.
It's no laughing matter.
It's like Heat.
Yeah, just like Heat. Mm-hmm. So let's cut over to George's apartment. Jerry arrives to see Firestorm with George as they planned, but George, talking to Jerry in the doorway, he's sort of like hiding from Susan a little bit. Mm-hmm. I feel he doesn't think he can go. He didn't tell Susan about it. Plus, she doesn't want to see Firestorm. She wants to see the Muted Heart.
Oh, Muted Heart, Glenn Close, Sally Field. That should be good.
But Jerry, I guess being a good friend, says, hey, we should leave together, share a cab, since the movies are playing at the same theater. And then Susan sticks her head out from the bedroom. Hey, George, got to get ready.
I am ready.
You're wearing that shirt?
Oh, my.
And it begins.
Jerry literally puts his tongue in his cheek at that reaction to see... You talk about a girl beating you in chess being emasculating. The way Susan just kind of called George out. Okay. And again, I love this scene because this is that relationship dynamic. George is becoming domesticated, and we're losing independent George right here. And Jerry sees it firsthand.
So this is the first moment where George truly isn't happy.
Yeah.
It's a comment about what he's wearing. Or actually, maybe it's more to the movie. I don't want to see that movie.
He wanted to see Firestorm, but he's actually being considerate. He's going to see Muted Heart because that's what Susan wants. But the fact that I am ready, you're wearing that shirt? I think that's where it starts.
As they meet up at the movies later, we're going to cut to the van. And I just wanted to play yet another clip here because I love this Kramer and Elaine interaction. Newman's outside getting the dog, and Elaine and Kramer are talking about the time.
No, I don't wear a watch.
What do you do?
Well, I tell time by the sun.
How close do you get?
Well, I can guess within an hour.
Well, I can guess within the hour. I don't even have to look at the sun.
Huh?
What about at night? What do you do then?
Well, night's tougher, but it's only a couple of hours.
Time is what he's indicating there. Yeah, this is one of the best Kramer scenes here with his explanation of how he tells time. And he's actually discussed his issues with time, or we've seen Kramer and time instances in previous episodes. I'm thinking the hot tub with his mental alarm.
Right.
Remember? Later on, he starts reading that book about Leonardo da Vinci. That means from Vinci. And then he also, remember, he prematurely springs his clocks forward in the Susie because he doesn't want to wait.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I forgot about all these.
It's always a time thing. In that episode, though, he has a pocket watch.
Let's go back to previous episodes. There was that whole issue with doves. Kramer. That Kramer.
Oh, that's right. By his concept of time, his life will have lasted over 2,000 years.
Jesus. Good quote on you, man. You didn't even have the script in front of you.
It's all up here.
Yeah, I just like that back and forth there. Newman jumps into the back of the van holding this little tiny dog. It's like a silky terrier, I guess.
Yeah, some sort of terrier.
Her name is Roxy. And Elaine is shocked. Can't believe that this little tiny dog who runs on batteries is the one making all the noise. And I don't know if it's that funny, but they all start yelling at the dog to start barking, like bark, 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 bark. And the dog's just confused.
Stupid human. You just reminded me, Elaine is also afraid of Snowball because after she got bit.
That's true. Yeah.
There's a third dog. Okay, proceed.
She's the dog. Well, let's cut over to the Regency, where you got a double billing, the Muted Heart, Firestorm. I think this is the same exterior from the stall, but this exterior just looks familiar. Or Schindler's List, something.
Yeah.
From like season 5. But Susan and George are in the lobby, and this is after the movie's ended. She's wiping away tears as Jerry is in another group leaving Firestorm with a friend, I guess.
Boy, how about when Harrison Ford jumped out of that plane and he was shooting back at them as he was falling?
What about the underwater escape?
Oh, man.
Remember when I said I love that previous scene? I love this scene. Love them all.
Oh, yeah.
This is so good. Jerry's enthusiasm. Oh, man.
And they stop right by George and Susan when they say this.
Adding insult to injury. George is no longer on top. He's back at the bottom. Such a great, just quick little exchange here.
And it really shows how different their lives are now. I mean, they're still the same people, but...
same people. Jerry's living it up as a single guy, doing whatever he wants. He's watching great action movies with his buddy. George had to watch a movie that he most likely didn't want to see. He had to put on a sweater vest. And, oh, yes. I sure hope so.
So, in addition to getting 2 great Seinfeld movie titles, fake movie titles, Firestorm and Muted Heart. Well, I guess there was a real Firestorm with Howie Long, but that doesn't matter.
No, we won't talk about that one.
Okay. This scene has a lot of cool trivia.
Okay.
And I want you to take the reins here because we have seen... or we will see that person that Jerry is talking to in a future episode.
The gentleman that comes out talking to Jerry about what about the underwater escape?
No.
That is comedian Mario Joyner and very good friend of Jerry Seinfeld. Matt and I actually saw Mario open for Jerry when we saw him at Michigan State. What's cool here is...
Well, can you put a pin in that real quick?
Yeah.
When we might have mentioned this on the show. It's a big deal to see Jerry at your college university. We got Chinese food before. Anyways. When we saw Jerry in college, it was so exciting, right? We're like, I can't believe we're actually going to see Wharton Center, beautiful building. We're going to see one of our heroes perform.
It was the pinnacle of our Seinfeld fandom. We get to see him in person and perform stand-up, the very thing that he does the show that we love.
And so we're really excited, as the lights go down and someone walks on stage. And I remember you flipping out. You're like, that's Maroon Golf. And I think at the time, I don't think we really knew who Mario Joyner was.
No, we didn't.
And we learned not only was Maroon Golf a stand-up comedian, but he's friends with Jerry, and we just fell in love with him and his act.
Yeah, this is, I think, pre-IMDb days, or at least knowing. Oh, okay.
Oh, it was there.
Frig me. But he was, it was great to see him walk out there, and he actually was very funny. I don't remember the jokes per se.
I remember.
He went off on mobile phones, didn't he?
Yes. And it was such a dumb joke as we're pitching it, but you have to understand, Mario Joyner doing it, gold. You hear your phone, or when it rings, you can feel it because it's vibrating. You can see it because the vibrations will make it move across the table. So they need to add, what is it, like a smell?
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, they need to emit like an odor.
Perfect. This phone stinks. So there we go. Mario Joyner is this gentleman coming out of the movie theater. What I'd like to talk about is he's credited as himself in this episode.
Yes, we're in a very sticky area here on Seincast.
Sticky. And then he will come back in the Puerto Rican Day in season 9 to play Lamar, otherwise known as Maroon Golf.
Right. And there's something about his appearance in the Puerto Rican Day that always felt like Jerry and Maroon Golf knew each other. Like somehow, like I didn't know all about Seinfeld when I first saw that episode. So I assumed he was like a character from another episode. Did you ever get that vibe? Like the beef they had just wasn't about driving?
Jerry refers to him as Lamar in that episode. So yeah, it seems like there's a little bit of a backstory. Unless they had just met and he referred to him as Lamar.
Right.
Or Kramer refers to him as Lamar. But yeah, there's animosity there.
Let's put the end credits aside. Do you get the vibe in this scene that Jerry and this guy that he's talking to are friends? Like they know each other, or did they run into each other?
I either think they ran into each other and just happened to walk out together, or they were sitting together and enjoyed the movie together. So that's why they're going to go for a shake after this.
That's what I always thought it was. Like two guys sitting alone in a movie theater. They're like, oh, wasn't that awesome? Oh my God. Since Jerry didn't have anyone to go with. But as you pointed out, he is credited as Mario Joyner. And there's a deleted scene we're going to play here where Jerry is talking to his friend Mario Joyner. So what I'm trying to get at is I'm saying this is a double dipper. This guy here and Maroon Golf are two different people.
That's what I would agree.
Whether you want to look at the credits at the end or just look at how Jerry interacts with both of them, two different people. But in this deleted scene, it's kind of cool. You can tell, I think, that the reason the scene was cut is because Jerry is laughing for real because of Mario is cracking him up so much.
Yeah. And it's just funny because Jerry introduces him like he's introducing a comedian. George, Mario Joyner.
Right, right. So
it's over the top, even though it's a really good scene.
The scene takes place before the movie started. So there you go.
Do Jesse Jackson at the movies, though. Do that one.
Soda flowing from the same fountain. Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola. There's no time to separate carbonated drinks from non-carbonated. Mr. Pibb, say hello to Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper, say hello to Snapple. Snapple, say hello to Mellow-Yellow. Mellow-Yellow, say hello to Yoo-Hoo.
Hey! Look who's here! I just bumped into Mario Joyner.
Hey, man. How you doing? Hey, Susan, Mario.
He does the funniest Jesse Jackson impression. Do it.
No, that's just something I do when I'm with you. So we're in for a big treat. This is a great movie.
George isn't seeing Firestorm.
Oh, what are you saying?
The Muted Heart.
Oh, Glenn Close and Sally Field.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go to the ladies' room. Get me small popcorn.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mario, George just got engaged.
Hey, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hey, congratulations. I inspired it.
I also love that it's just adding more insult to George's injury here. So I actually could see the scene sticking in the episode. I'm kind of upset they didn't leave it in.
Just about time, right? You can't get them all, but I think we're both in agreement. Mario Joyner is a double dipper.
Yeah, it's a shame because he interacts with Jerry on both occasions, and it's so like there's nothing changing about his appearance. He doesn't look any different. Same guy, but I love him as movie patron, and I love him as Maroon Golf. So I wouldn't have it any other way. So let's double dip.
You double dipped the chip.
Double dipped? What are you talking about?
Next scene, we're in the van. Still in the van. The group.
A big, juicy van.
They've made their way into the country at this point.
Practically a Monticello.
Yeah. Love that Kramer wonders. It's a throwaway line. He's like, I wonder if there's a news report about the dog napping. He like tries to turn on the radio. Anyways, Kramer pulls up to a house. And he struggles, takes the dog out. And he kind of struggles to drop the dog off at his new home, this random person's house. And some of the weirdest ADR here. Do you know what I'm talking about?
When he's on the porch?
Yeah. So I have some audio here, and everyone at home can decide if they think it sounds weird, too.
This is it. This is your new home. Let go of my shirt. Come on, let go of my shirt. My shirt is from Rudy.
It does sound off.
Right, around that, like, oh, my shirt, this is from Rudy's. Then, whoa, it's just like, what's going on? Mm-hmm. It's like a radio drama.
Yeah.
I guess they had to try to
they had to establish
what happened.
It's nice because it's a nice callback to the previous season or the season before.
5 Raincoats, yeah.
Season 5. But they also had to establish that was Kramer's shirt, and one of the distinguishable factors was that it was a Rudy's shirt from Rudy's Boutique.
So Roxy's just sitting there with a little piece of shirt hanging out of her mouth.
Do you think that was Frank's shirt from Rudy's?
Maybe. I just wonder, as we'll find out later, why did Rudy put his name on his clothing? Like, did thrift stores do that?
I don't think so.
Maybe, like, stamp it, but...
Yeah, leave Rudy alone.
Triple stamp it, no erases. So next scene, we're at Jerry's apartment, and he calls George to say that MSG is rerunning the Yankees game. George gets really excited. They are?
Georgie, coming to bed? I think he's mad about you.
And George kind of snaps at Jerry for breaking out of the deal after shaking his hand.
I didn't make a deal. I shook your hand.
That's a deal where I come from.
We come from the same place.
Well, George has to go to watch Mad About You with Susan. And I meant to ask you, did you ever watch Mad About You? It ran, from 92 to 99 on NBC. So.
Mm-hmm. I did watch it. I didn't watch it as consistently as Seinfeld, but I had a huge crush on Helen Hunt. So I did watch some Mad About You.
Right on. I never watched it. It just, for some reason, it was like Frasier, where I'm like, this is too mature for me.
They were an older couple.
Right. And it wasn't as wacky fun as something like Seinfeld. But I've always wanted to watch the whole series. And I heard Paul Reiser say on, I think it was Comedy Bang Bang or something, that a lot of the seasons never came out on DVD because there were a lot of music issues, like copyrights.
Really?
His character would enter scenes a lot humming a song.
Okay.
Like a very popular song or singing the song, and they got the rights, for broadcast, but they never got the rights for home video or home release. Huh. I've worked on shows before where we've had to remove songs from previous episodes, and it's a real pain in the ass. But if it's a track, you can do that. With him, it was the actual character humming it.
Right.
How do you fix that?
It's a shame that that's a part of his character. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Can they ADR some hums in there?
I don't know what they did, but apparently, based on this interview, like last spring, he said that they fixed it and the DVDs are coming out. So I'd really love to get my hands on a Mad About You.
Oh, cool!
Like box set.
Let's do Cast About You.
Okay. So George has to go to watch Mad About You, and later we see everyone in their respective beds. We get these shots of people in their beds cut with shots of Roxy running all the way from Monticello, down a street, across a bridge, all the way back to Manhattan. And it's a good 100 miles or so from Monticello to New York City.
Okay.
No idea how this dog makes it, but we'll go with it. You want to break down all the shots here of people in their bed?
Surely. And keep in mind the way they're sleeping definitely conveys how they're feeling, what stage they are in life.
Well, does that remind you of a previous episode?
Oh, I'm thinking the contest. Who's cranky, who's satisfied, sleeping peacefully.
This is not a subtle joke, right? I feel like this is homage to that episode.
A little nod, if you will. We have Elaine first, sleeping in bed peacefully, no dog barking. We got George, who is got one cheek hanging off the bed because Susan is kind of smothering him all the way on his side. He looks over at her begrudgingly. Then we have Jerry sprawled out right in the middle of the bed, magazines strewn, and he's sleeping like a baby.
I watched both the DVD and the Hulu version. Mm-hmm. On the Hulu version, as we've brought up before, they crop the top and bottom.
Okay.
And they add a little bit on the side just to fit, our TVs nowadays. But so unfortunately you lose some image. And you miss, I think, a very interesting image in the Jerry shot because it's not on Hulu. It's only on the DVD. You see the magazines on his bed. You got like a Sports Illustrated, a car magazine. Right at the bottom is a Playboy.
Oh, you don't say.
Oh, I say. And I thought that was very interesting that they would not like get away with that on TV, but just, I don't know, seeing Jerry after looking at a Playboy asleep, it's...
And did he or did he not say that he would be embarrassed to have that in his house?
Excellent. I didn't even think of that. God, male curiosity. Now, the best sequence in this little montage. Say this every episode. This is my favorite moment. But this really is one of my favorite Kramer moments of all time. Do you like this?
Well, I don't like it. I love it.
It's so surreal. Everyone sleeping peacefully, but when it cuts to Kramer, you get this ominous, creepy nightmare music. And you see Kramer twitching in bed, and it cuts to what he's dreaming about. And he's sitting under a tree on a picnic spread, no shoes, straw hat, corncob pipe.
His pants are rolled up.
He's a spitting image of Huck Finn, or Tom Sawyer. And there's Roxy. Is Roxy mauling Kramer?
Yes. She's mauling him to death.
I love that. He just falls over as this dog is probably just licking something off his face. But it's such a crazy image, man.
Cracks me up every time, though.
So Kramer's carrying around a lot of guilt, I guess. And Roxy makes it all the way home. And her owner picks her up, wondering where she's been, when she spots that piece of ripped clothing and the label.
Rudy's.
Yes.
I didn't know this, but Larry David's dog was named Roxy, his real-life dog.
Really?
Yeah. He had a dog named Roxy and a dog named Mortimer.
I love that. It's probably the most interesting trivia we've shared all episode.
This is what I do.
Roxy and Mortimer. All right, well, Roxy's...
Morty.
Oh, very good. Roxy's back to barking, and Elaine sits up in bed. Can't believe what she's hearing. Can't be. And it is. We cut over to Jerry's apartment the next day, and Elaine catches him up on the dog, somehow returning. And we move on to some big news here. And I feel like we haven't given Julia a lot of praise this episode.
We haven't said that she's cute or sweet, so get ready.
Well, this performance is fantastic.
So tell me anyway, who was the big mastermind?
Oh, I can't, Jerry. I'm sworn to secrecy.
But then I can't tell you the big news.
News? What news?
Sorry.
What?
All right, Elaine. But this is beyond news. This is like Pearl Harbor or the Kennedy assassination. It's like not even news, it's total shock.
Oh, come on, Jerry, please.
George Costanza.
Yeah?
Is getting married!
I love that. I love the please, please, please. I also love the... Oh, can't, Jerry. I've been sworn to secrecy.
Might be the most powerful get out we ever see Elaine use on another person.
Yes.
I mean, he goes flying into the bedroom.
He does. That's not acting there. And what I love is if you look closely in the scene, Jerry kind of leans in. He has one arm up.
He brings it up.
As she winds up to push him, he braces himself because he knows it's coming, and he's got a smile on his face, I think, because he knows like this great moment. But I love the little, he's bracing. It's good stuff.
Oh, that's great. I wonder what was behind him. Just like someone held up a mattress, maybe.
Probably, yeah.
That must have been a lot of fun to film. Out in the hallway, though, we're going to play yet another clip here, guys. There's a knock on Kramer's door.
Chinese food?
Not Chinese food. Police officer. There's kind of some commotion. So Jerry and Elaine step out. And as soon as Elaine realizes it's a cop, she just turns around and walks back into the apartment.
You Cosmo Kramer?
Yes, yeah.
You recognize this piece of fabric?
Yeah, well, that's...
What?
Nothing.
You're under arrest.
Arrest?
I have a receipt for a rental car with your signature, including a report of some damage to the rear seat. It seems as if the springs were so compressed that they completely collapsed the right side.
Newman!
What took you so long?
Again, great clip. There's a reason you're playing it. The whole like kind of catching Kramer in the act where he recognizes his shirt and he looks at it fondly.
Oh yeah, that's what?
What's that? That's great. And then the way the police officer describes how there was damage to the car, implicating Newman in the crime, Jerry knows instantly.
Yeah, the quote is, "It seems the spring was so compressed it completely collapsed the right side."
Newman. And then Newman, being this this mob boss,
a badass man,
totally going against the grain. What took you so long?
Oh, so good.
That cop, though, he's credited as cop number 2.
Now,
number 2.
I've said this before. He definitely looks familiar. I know I've seen him in something.
Oh, you have. That is Ed O'Ross, and he also comes back in the finale to play Detective Blake.
That's on his IMDb?
Correct.
Huh.
So I don't know, is this the same detective? We might be double dipping, we might not.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that.
This guy was in Full Metal Jacket, Universal Soldier, Lethal Weapon, and I think most notably for us, he plays Leo in Curb Your Enthusiasm in the Larry David Sandwich episode. He runs that deli.
That's right, and he has like an accent.
Yes.
He's like, Larry, I make a sandwich, like name you after sandwich. It's got like capers.
Like, you're adopted, I'm adopted. You're my brother.
Right. What is the Larry David sandwich? Everyone's is delicious, by the way. It's like, ham, turkey, roast beef.
Lox, cream cheese, capers, and it's a white fish.
Onion.
Yeah.
It's like the worst sandwich on the board. Like no one gets it. So good. Let's cut over to the cop car where you got Newman, Elaine, and Kramer all crammed into the back seat. Kramer wonders, what's going to happen. And Newman is pretty confident we'll be out by lunch. But Elaine is just completely defeated.
I need to make some changes. I'm not a woman. I'm a child. What kind of life is this? Every character has this revelation of, having to grow up.
Mm-hmm. God, I love that so much. Love that last line. Very existential. I like these moments on Seinfeld.
Who am I?
Was that a Crazy Joe reference?
That's what Elaine calls existential.
Okay. Newman seems a lot calmer in this scene than he did in the scofflaw. Maybe all of his tickets got taken care of, so he feels better now. But he seemed to be very scared of cops back then.
True. Almost like he's blatantly calling him out or wanting to go against them. Mm-hmm. Like he's taking on this villain role now.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be out by lunch. You put it perfectly. Kind of like a mob boss type.
Thank you.
And then, of course, the final scene of the episode, and I think we'll use this song to take us out this week.
Please do.
Is George and Susan in bed together, over credits, just watching TV as the Mad About You theme plays.
You posted the teaser for what's coming already on Facebook, and inevitably somebody wrote, "Oh, great! Now I've got the song in my head."
It's so hard because George is just, I don't know how to describe his face other than like Elaine, just defeated. Yeah, dead.
Yeah, dead stare.
And Susan's just, spooning him, smiling, holding his hand.
I like that they probably just put a static camera on them and then said, Heidi, just, do things with Jason, amorous things that would annoy him. So she's snuggling up against him, kisses him on the cheek, and she's reacting to the TV lights. Mm-hmm. Because she's just like with my boo watching reruns of Mad About You.
Oh my God. We should also mention Mad About You, kind of a funny show to reference on Seinfeld. Well, Murphy Brown, I guess. Melrose Place. All right. They bring up a lot of shows, but a fellow NBC sitcom isn't something that Seinfeld did all the time. And I think this is because, Jerry and Paul Reiser, good friends.
Yep. Fellow comedians.
Also, Michael Richards had a cameo on Mad About You back in 93, 94, playing himself, right? Or playing Kramer, rather. So I think we learned some of that give and take, right?
Oh, yeah. We learned that Paul Reiser, I don't know his character's name on Mad About You, but he was the previous owner or
tenant,
occupant of Kramer's apartment.
Or no, I think of Jerry's apartment.
Of Jerry's apartment.
Yeah, he lived in 5A, and Kramer was like his weird neighbor. Mm-hmm. And he needed keys or something from him. It was very bizarre. But it's in that hallway outside the apartments that I guess is the go-to Seinfeld set Remember, because Julia used that in New Adventures of Old Christine.
Oh, you're right.
When she played Elaine. So
love that.
It's iconic enough, right, without having to build a whole set.
Everybody gets it.
Now, before we get out of here, there's one last thing I wanted to mention here, and this comes from our friends at That Totally Awesome 90s Podcast, which we've brought up before. They sent us a really cool, I don't know, how do they put it? Susan death conspiracy. So in this final shot over credits, behind Susan, you see 2 books. Now, one book is about cholesterol. It's like LDLs, right?
Okay.
So I don't really know if there's much to go off of that.
What do you say? LDL?
So on top of that book is a book called The Burden of Proof.
It's like when Elaine was reading that book in Mr. Pitts last season.
Oh, that's right. That was sort of incriminating her as being part of some murder plot. Mm-hmm. Well, this is sort of the same thing. This is a book by Scott Turow. It's a follow-up sequel of sorts to Presumed Innocent, which I'm sure you remember the movie, also with Harrison Ford.
Oh.
Where a woman is murdered and he's sort of a suspect because he had an affair with her, yada, yada. This is the sequel to that.
Kill my wife!
But there's a lot of, just like crime, mystery, murder novels. And so the fact that this is right behind Susan in bed, and this is the first episode way before Larry realized how he was going to handle the character. There's some interesting little synergy happening there. I don't know.
Love it. Yeah, it's a little Easter egg.
And I'll
perfectly placed for us.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, thanks to the guys at That Totally Awesome 90s Podcast, I never would have noticed this. It's kind of obscured by a pillow.
Yeah.
I never would have overanalyzed that book, but it's kind of cool.
Wow, what a totally amazing, excellent podcast.
So, what do you think?
Matt, do you like this episode?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
May I ask why?
Man.
Sorry.
No, it's like a Muppet. Like Miss Piggy?
Something like that.
Yeah, I like this episode, especially as season premieres go.
Yeah.
I think it's a real strong one. I love the setup, the promise for what's to come with George and Susan. I mean, we all know in hindsight what an incredible arc this is. Probably, as much as I love the pilot arc, I think this is a much better one. I think we learn a lot about the George character in this season. But like as a whole, is this like an episode I'm going to put on and watch? No. It kind of feels more like setup than like an entirely satisfying episode on its own.
Mm-hmm.
So having said that, I think everyone gets a really like equal balance. I was watching a special on Elaine. I think there was some interview with Julia where she said that she wasn't happy that she was getting a lot of material, especially early on the show. She felt like all the guys were getting the good stuff.
Yep.
And I feel like Elaine's got a lot of great stuff over the years, but I feel like now we're finally getting a real even distribution between characters. Elaine's might have been kind of silly with the dog, but I don't know. It's just kind of cool to see her get as much funny stuff as like Michael Wood or Jason Wood,
of course,
whatnot. Yep. That just stood out to me for some reason in this 111th episode more than before.
Mm-hmm.
And Newman, fantastic with his like evil mob boss Machiavellian ways.
Mm-hmm.
But what about you?
I actually wrote down everything I loved about this episode. So
oh my God,
here's my little list here. The opening scene in Monks with Jerry and George, that growing up revelation. What are we doing with our lives? Then followed right behind that, Kramer bursting Jerry's bubble. Something more to life. There isn't. George, revealing to Jerry when he proposed. Love that scene. Followed by the inevitable come down, no champagne.
I think we should do this in the future where I should actually write down my thoughts as opposed to just bullshit.
Because we always wing it, and it always it sucks. And then the scenes with Susan and George where you see their dynamic changing, right in front of your eyes, with the deciding to go to see the Muted Heart versus Firestorm, and then are you wearing that shirt?
We're just recapping the episode again. I love this.
Yeah. Here, I'm almost done. Here, Kramer's time-telling skills. We got some insight in that. The nightmare sequence, which we loved, and Jerry revealing to Elaine George's engagement with that huge get out.
Yeah.
Those are all the like when I said my favorite moments, that was it.
Yeah.
Those are all of them.
A lot, but they are fantastic moments. If you had to pick your favorite out of that mix, what would it be?
I think the I am ready. You wearing that shirt?
Next time we're together and we're heading out, I'm going to drop that line.
Please do.
And I have to be behind like a wall, stick my head out.
Yes. But yeah, we see the return of Heidi Swedberg, and again, I think as we both will agree, she does a great job as playing Susan Biddle Ross.
Oh, that's right, Susan Biddle Ross. I don't know if you've made it this far. Thank you, but I don't know how our earlier conversation about Heidi is going to pan out because we went on really long, and I'm gonna have to cut it back. So I don't know what's gonna stay, what's getting cut out, but I hope that we can talk more about Heidi as the show goes on for whatever wasn't included in this episode. But I think we really looking forward to talking about her more as the season goes on. But Vinny, all in all, gonna crack your top 20.
This is tough. I got the pick and the watch rounding out my top 20.
Mm-hmm.
Tough one. I don't think so. It's close, but no. So I'm gonna say prognosis negative on that one.
All right. Well, as the as the show goes on more and more, I'm getting a little more conservative, I think, about what I'm letting into my top 20.
You got to reevaluate your screening process, right?
Absolutely, because
we only have a case of these episodes left.
Yeah, we're not messing around here. But yeah, this unfortunately won't crack my top 20 either. But I know for sure. I was just looking through the Ep Guide. Season 7, a lot of those are going to crack my top 20.
Oh,
absolutely.
Okay. We shall see, sir.
Looking forward to it. But do you want to get out of here?
Yeah, please.
Tell me why I love you like I do.
That will do it for us this week here on Seincast. Please feel free to send us an email at seincast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, or dial us at Coco Bosco.
Vinny, what episode do we have next week?
We are discussing the second episode of Season 7, The Postponement. Spring, rejuvenation, rebirth, everything's blooming, all that crap.
Beautiful.
They're not going to like it.
No, they're not.
But for now, I'm Vinny.
I'm Matt.
Signing off.
Let's take each other's hand as we jump into the final frontier. I'm mad about you, baby. Yeah, I'm mad about you.
Seincast is not endorsed by Castle Rock Entertainment, Sony Pictures, or NBC. It is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Seinfeld, the Seinfeld logo, and all names, pictures, and audio of Seinfeld characters are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders.
Excellent. Excellent.